Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So BJ Alpha has a new book that will be released by the time you guys see this video, it'll release the day before.
Yes, it comes out November 14th, so it should be already out there.
So we're gonna do a reading vlog. Read along with us. These are always fun with BJ's books.
Yes, so we will break it up into chapters. We'll let you know what chapters we're reading so you can follow along with us. Before we do that, we're going to read the blurb and talk about the different tropes that are going to be in this one. And then we'll start our reading vlog.
Yeah. So do you want to tell them whose book this is? Do you have any of that information? And then I can read the blurb.
Go ahead and read the blurb and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. All right. So the blurb that we have for this one is, it says it's Rocco's POV. So the moment I set my eyes on her, I wanted her. I had to play the long game for her to be in the perfect position for the taking. I've lied and manipulated to create the textbook moment for me to make my move. So when I walk into her classroom as her new student, I have everything in place. I'm coming for you, Little Red, and nothing will stop me.
All right. So this is Rocco's book. He's one of the brothers. He's the younger brother. And if remembering back to Possession, he was kind of a rebel.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and start through this. So we have reverse age gap.
Yep.
Okay. I like a good reverse age gap if it's done well.
And we know, she'll do it well. Yeah.
Yes. So this is interesting with the reverse age gap because we also have daddy kink. And usually that doesn't happen in reverse age gap as much.
Yeah, especially when she's like his teacher. So, BJ, how?
Another question I have is, I went back and looked. I searched, using the search function, and I could not find an age for Rocco.
Yeah.
We know he's younger, but I could not find an actual age. So I'm curious to know how old he actually is.
Like, is this a college teacher or is this a high school teacher? Like, those are the questions we have right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have BDSM.
Okay.
Not shocking.
This is a BJ Alpha book.
Knife play. Again, not shocking.
No.
But this one adds a new element here. We have stalker.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. I love stalkers. I mean, not really, like in my books, but I like stalkers.
Okay. Degradation.
That's
what I said.
Not really.
So that's pretty common in most
of her books.
Mafia style books.
Yes.
We have somnophilia.
Oh, I like that too.
That's new. I don't think that was in the last one.
I don't think so.
Dubcon.
Works for me.
This is nasty. Spit play. Ugh. Hate that. It's gross. It grosses me out. Ugh. I'm going to throw up just thinking about it. Okay. Voyeur.
Just not in my mouth, okay?
Voyeurism.
Okay.
My personal favorite, sarcasm implied, water sports.
Hey, I think BJ's books were the first time I had actually really read anything with water sports in it. And I only trust BJ to do it for me.
Seriously. Mattress. Ew.
Mattress cover.
It was not discussed in the first book. Okay, then we already talked about this student teacher. Ew. BJ's really getting gross. Snowballing.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want no bodily fluids exchange.
Knowing BJ and her assistant Kate, I can just hear Kate encouraging BJ with all of these. Yes, do it. Like she's in the background encouraging.
CNC.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
What's that stand for?
Isn't it consent, Is it? I thought it was C and C, consent, non-consent.
Okay, that's
so
what that is?
Yeah, I had a moment of, I thought you said C and C, and I was like, it's C and C, so consensual, non-consent.
Okay, I don't know what this next one is, and I'm not even sure how I'm gonna pronounce it. So it's a philia of some sort. Catoptronophilia.
Can you spell that, please? I'd like to buy a vowel.
Well, they're on the one I'm looking at, stuff is marked out. So I think it's KATOPTRONOPH, and then I think ILIA.
How about we Google that? I don't know what that is.
Okay.
1 second while Mandy Googles.
Okay.
Okay, so what does Google say that is?
Mirror kinks. Using a mirror. Like, why do we need that big word for it?
That's a fancy word for using a mirror.
Yes. Okay, then we have Toucher and Die, which
we love.
Yeah. I would just be surprised if BJ wrote a book in there
that didn't have that.
Yeah. We've got the lactation kink.
Woo! Need a mattress protector for that as well. I just,
We have, not necessarily.
Look, not that it was the kink, but when I was pregnant with my first, my husband insisted when we bought a new bed on having a mattress protector in case boobs leaked. They leak in the middle of the night. And then I couldn't actually.
You're oversharing. Okay, birth control manipulation.
I love that. Yes.
Followed by breeding.
Of course, because this is a BJ alphabet.
And our last one, improper use of medical equipment.
I'm here for it.
I'm very curious to see what is about to happen.
I am here for it. I can always trust BJ. I can always trust BJ to bring the good stuff.
All right. Okay. So there are 48 chapters and a prologue. So we're going to divide this up into 6 chunks. So 8 chapters, but the first one will do the prologue and then chapters 1 through 8. So
okay,
we'll pause the video. Jessica will put markers in there so you know when we're on to the next chapter, so you can read along with us if you want, which we hope you'll join us because these are always a lot of fun.
They're a lot of fun, especially these books because they're kinky as hell.
All right, we're off to read.
All right. All right. So we read through chapter 8.
Yes.
What do you think?
Okay, well, we now know he is 18.
We also know where the daddy kink is coming in.
Yeah, he's there for it. He heard his brother use it, and now he thinks it's cool. It's still weird because he's 18 and she's what, 33?
Yeah, 1833. It didn't bother me. I thought it was hot. I was like, you know what? BJ's probably gonna see this. 2 thumbs up. It was hot. I mean, it worked. Yes. It worked. It really did.
So far, when I was reading it, I was thinking, wow, how does she do this? How does she keep making these better and better? Because and the lotion.
The lotion. We are 8 chapters in, and I'm like, holy hell, it's so good already. And I'm not, reverse age gap isn't always my favorite thing, but Rocco's working for me.
Yeah, and we've actually only seen them together like a little snippet so far. And now I'm curious as to what all, like, he's been laying these plans. So he's got cameras in her house, and now he's shown up to her school that she teaches at. And we're still not, I'm assuming this is still high school.
Yes.
And he just happens to be 18.
Because he was saying, the way they were talking, I thought his dad said something about high school. It's got to be high school. And I just missed that. But he,
I'm very curious though, like what all are his plans? Like obviously his end game is to get her, but he's been like, they had their moment together, and now it's months later that he's been laying this groundwork for his ultimate plan. So what is the ultimate plan? Like what is he gonna do?
Well, we know that his ultimate plan, I think, is to have her as his, but he's gonna get her, he wants to get her knocked up. He wants to get her pregnant because he had the pharmacist, instead of giving her plan B after the original encounter, give her hormone medication. Like he finagled it so she went to the right pharmacy, and give her birth control pills, which were hormones. And it sounds like he's been creeping into her house at night and probably doing things in the middle of the night with her to try to knock her up.
Sounds like it, but we don't know. So is that the ultimate? Is that his plan? Is he's going to get her knocked up? But then he's got some explaining to do on how it's his kid, because she wouldn't put that together yet.
Right. And he is being forced by his father to marry somebody else.
Yes. So is that the ultimate plan? Is if he could get her pregnant, then he can marry her. So is that like, I just want to know, I get that the end game is them together, but what is he trying to, like, all the groundwork he's laying?
I do have to say, their dad and his, like, just continue the family line. Like, I'm like, okay. Like, that is his thing. Like, he just wants all three of those boys to just continue the family line. So,
well, it's not just that simple, though, with the women he has pre-picked for them.
Seriously, but still, at the same time, like, we're 8 chapters in, and I didn't want to put it down. So,
yeah, so we end with him sitting in the classroom and her introducing the new student and making eye contact with him and being like, oh no.
Yes. And that's so sorry for those who stopped here. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to read 9 through 16. So stop before you read chapter 17 for the next one.
Yeah, I'm so excited to go read.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Okay. We're going to knock this out in like a day and a half.
I know. So, yay, BJ.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, Mandy.
Yes. I have some notes.
I don't even know that I need notes. It's like not leaving my head.
Yeah. So once again, it's a BJ Alpha book, and there needs to be mattress covers. There was no discussion of laundry happening or how this was going. Like, ew.
And then she sat there wet, covered in urine, when he asked her to clean him up.
That's just gross.
And as I was reading it, I was like, I'm open to a few things. I'm open to quite a few things. This is not one that I'm open to ever. If somebody else is, that's cool. You do you, boo. But no.
Yeah. So then we found out with the sedative that normally he just watches her. So he has not taken advantage of the situation until this particular time. And
I would like it noted that I'm slightly disappointed in that, okay?
Well, I was wondering of how she, like we talked about, how she was going to know that he would be the father. So this makes sense because they haven't been doing it. But then he spends the night with her, so she knows what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. We also got another... What?
Oh, go ahead.
I was saying, we also got another thing that I'm not willing to try either.
The snowball?
Yes.
That's so disgusting. Oh, I can't handle it. But she is going along with all his craziness, and I thought it was funny. She's like, it must be a midlife crisis.
I know. And then my other thought was, you're only 33. It's not midlife yet. So, but.
And then she is questioning, like, why? What are you wanting? And he's like, you'll find out soon enough. So we still don't really know what exactly he has planned here.
Yeah. I mean, he did tell her that he plans to get her pregnant.
Yes, she knows that now.
Yeah. So.
And then he made her beg for it.
Yeah. Yes, he did. Yeah, he is quite the daddy, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. But I mean, at least in this book, it is explained that he's been a made man, or however we want to discuss it, since he was 13. So even though he's 18, this has been his life for like 5 years. Well, he's over 18 now, like a little over, like, yeah, it's several months after his 18th birthday. But anyway, this has been his life. Like, and so we see that even when he's in the club, when he's 16 with his dad and everything, and that he has been raised to not be your typical teenager. So he, like, sometimes when I read books and the, like, reverse age gap and the guy is pretty young, it's like, this doesn't really make sense. Or even when you're reading about like their
Mhm.
teenage years together, and
Mhm.
it's like, really?
Yeah.
But this has made, like, I'm not questioning him acting or behaving this way because it's explained. Like, this has been his
He grew
life.
up
And
fast.
yes, if you
Yeah.
read anything about Mafia, it's not
Mhm.
too hard to make that leap that they become men when they're 13 in all aspects.
Mhm. Well, and the fact that his dad's like, "What are you going to school for? You don't need that." You
Yeah.
know, like that kind of thing. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I did
Yeah.
love the line when she is out with the work colleague having pizza. And he was like, "Oh, we have a family emergency or something." She said something about family emergency. And then he's like, "Oh, your
Yes.
family?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm family. I'm her fucking daddy." I was like, "Yeah, you are."
Yeah. I mean, don't we just love Tony?
You know,
My
remember
pizza better not be cold.
I know, and the fact that he's got like pizza hanging from his fingers. I just have to say, the person that my dad would have liked to marry me off to, that we talked about this in our arranged marriage romance thing. What I went out with him one time and there was mayonnaise here the whole time, and that was it. That was it. I never dated him again. I was like,
You didn't suggest, like, oh, you need a napkin.
I was young and dumb. I don't know. But the fingers of the cheese fall. Okay.
I thought
I'm like
Tony was
that.
hot.
Did you? Did
No,
you?
no. I'm just being funny. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go read the
Okay. So
next chapters.
what are we reading to or through?
Um, 17 through 24.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. Did you see that coming?
No, I
No. Neither did your dogs.
I think one of the kids is here. Um, we'll just let him bark. Anyhow, I was shocked. Like I immediately pulled up my phone and started doing math because I was wait, if she's 33
Yes.
and he's like, let's just say he's not 18 because it sounds like it's the beginning of the school year. So let's say that he's same age, but he's 17. That would still make her 16 when she had him. Like I was doing
Yeah.
all the math, but I did
Yeah.
not see that coming at all.
Yeah. I was curious about that too. So they had him when
She was really young.
she was really young. I mean, because we know he can drive. So he has, even if they're not in the same grade, he has to at least
He
be
has his license.
16.
Um, what were you saying?
I was seeing that they might not be in the same grade, but we know he can drive. So he's at least 16,
At
which
least
still puts her
at
as like,
17.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
roughly.
curious about that, if we'll hear more about that.
Mhm. Or maybe they ended up adopting him, or you know, like I'm just curious, like
Yeah.
how.
We need some more info
So
on this.
definitely need more info on that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that was quite the cliffhanger that we ended on.
Yeah. So she's pissed
Yeah.
at Rocco, which surprised me a little bit. 'Cause she's
Mhm.
been like on board for
Yeah, that was that cliffhanger really got me, in which and she made that little announcement at the end in her own head. Did you catch that last
yes.
line? And I'm like, is that confirmed or is that just her speculating?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, my
Mhm.
notes started off with like, oh, why does she have to keep meeting with her ex-husband?
Yeah,
Like,
like
what's
yeah.
going on there? And
Mhm.
then what is his plan that is happening and why
Mhm.
is he so concerned about meeting with Matt's dad?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my
And then I
gosh.
thought he was going to be like he was going to go to this family dinner and be surprised, right? Like, oh my god, that's her kid, right? No, he knew all along. Like he
Yeah.
really knew all along.
Well, yeah, because he's been stalking her.
A lot of it. Yeah. I thought I highlighted something here, but I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, we had quite the cliffhanger. All right. Let's just go read some more. So
Okay.
now we're going to read 25 through 32.
Okay. We're back.
We are. Okay, I have very little notes for this. Like everything's kind of been revealed and then like things are just sort of happening,
There's
but
a lot happening.
Yeah, a lot's happening, but nothing really like new has happened. But my one note really was he says she has no idea how deep the deceit runs.
I know, which makes me go, wait, we have no idea then. Like, I think we have an inkling, but
Yeah, so I'm like, what else is going on?
yeah,
Because I feel like something else is gonna smack us in the face, kind of like Maddie being, or Matt, whatever we want to call him, being her son. And then we did clarify that it was a teenage
it
pregnancy
was a teenage pregnancy.
and how all that worked out.
Yeah. And then, and then they're married. Like, poop's gonna hit the fan here real soon.
Yes.
I'm ready for it. Ready
Yes.
for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I like things happen in this section, but not like so much that there's a lot to talk about. But I do know that I am very engrossed in the story, and stopping so that we can film this is really hard.
Well, we had to read last night, and so this is the next day, and
Yeah.
we're going to finish it today.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I could have kept reading last night, but
I could have too. I really could have, but I stopped, and then I was like,
we're in the dead of the night filming.
I know.
Everyone's asleep, but
There's no lights on. But okay, you guys can't see us, but you can hear us, right? Like that's how that would have been.
I have a separate room. I could actually record with lights on. I know.
In my
It would
bedroom.
be like you're black in
yeah.
the black
and
there,
then you guys would have
screen.
heard my husband snoring, and it would have been a thing. So nothing does it every time, but he would have done it when we were recording because that's my luck. Actually, would have been a funny video.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's go read. So we stopped at the end of, so this is 33 through 40? I was like, wait, adding in my head.
Yes.
Okay. We're getting close. We're in the home stretch.
We are.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Lots of stuff has happened again.
Little bit. I've got some comments, but why don't you start? I'm sure you have yours in chronological order. I don't.
Well, I actually had two things that we didn't talk about before that as I was reading this part. I'm like, wait, we never discussed this. So we never talked about the camera.
I know. That was kinky as hell.
That was weird.
No, that was kinky as hell.
And I'm like, is that even possible? And then I'm like, I guess it is. I mean,
I think they're little. I think it's like the little ones I think they use for like surgery, like that kind of thing, like the little scope kind. Yeah, I was down for it.
Yeah, and we also never talked about him licking her spoon.
That was way early.
Yeah. As I was reading it, I'm like, we never talked about those things.
That's just funny. That's just the creepy psycho soccer in him.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so she knows about the sedatives now.
Mm-hmm. I do have to say this, when we started this group of chapters, it went in a direction I did not think it was going to go. And it ended up in me messaging BJ saying, really, BJ, in a church? To which she laughed.
That's not really surprising.
It's not surprising, huh? Oh.
Yeah.
But, you know, mm-hmm. It's one way to consummate the marriage.
And then how he handled the OB doctor.
The lube.
Yeah,
I was like, that's got to be against some guidelines.
And then he's
somewhere.
making her like suck him during that. And I'm just thinking, you know, like when, I mean, I've had 3 kids, you've had 3 kids. Like you go to the OB and sometimes you wait a little while and other times like the nurse checks you in and walks out of that door and the doctor's right on her heels. Or if he's going to get things, like he said, I have to go grab some stuff and I'll be right back type thing, he's usually right back. So I'm like, but that never happens. They never get caught in those situations in books, ever.
Nope.
Where it's like, I'm sorry, we're going to have to ask you to leave the facility and never come back.
And never come back. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care that you're part of the mafia. Just don't come back.
Yeah.
So we finally found out Dad's name. So Dad is Vinny.
Yes.
Where the whole time he's been referred to as Dad. I don't think we ever learned his name, but
that's what I was thinking too in this one. I'm like, I'm like, I don't think that I knew his name was Vinny.
No, I think that's been kept under wraps. And I have a theory, and I did send it to BJ, but I have a theory. Dad is quite the philanderer, and Dad is not. He's all about the woman, and he's the silver fox. I think he's going to marry the girl that Rocco was supposed to marry.
Oh, really young?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't put up much of a fight. Like, I thought, I mean, it was funny because he's like,
I loved it.
I mean, his dad had some choice words, but
I
then
loved
he's
it.
like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I knew when he'd fall, it was going to be hard. I just hoped it'd be for that girl, the Harrington girl or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's just kind of okay with it. And his brothers, we don't really see him talking to his brothers very much, but I thought it was going to be a lot bigger of a deal, but they're just like, whatever.
Yeah, especially because she's pregnant. Like he knew she was pregnant. Which she's like 5 months along. I mean, 20 weeks. So
which is interesting that Vinny was as calm as he was about everything, because he's kind of been hinted at as really being that strong mafia don, like that took his kids to get, lose their virginity when they were 13 and use women type thing his whole life. And if they got close to their nannies, they were gone and that sort of thing. And so I was really surprised that he went along with this as well as he did.
But it is also kind of described as, he's the baby. And I think about my baby, my third, my youngest, and he's the fourth. So I'm like, she gets away with murder. Like she gets away with murder because she is the baby. So it sounds like that's the same kind of situation, just in a different.
But they were depending on him for a lot more.
Yeah, well, now Dad's going to have to marry her. Dang it.
That is an interesting thought. So you think that's going to be book 4 in this series?
I do. And the message I got back from BJ was, wait till you get to the bonus chapter. It was basically what she said.
Okay, let's go.
I know, we got to go finish this. So I think that's what I think she said. Vinny's bonus chapter. Wait till you get there. So.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
And then we still have one more brother that can have a book.
He's just not even in the picture at this point.
I had actually forgotten about him.
Same.
To be honest, until they brought him up. And I'm like, oh, okay, so there is one more brother.
There is one more.
Could possibly get 2 more
books.
We
have hope. These guys are nuts. I love it.
But I'm loving it. I'm totally here for it. I honestly think this might be my favorite out of the 3. Same. And I've loved the other 2 a lot.
Same. I am really loving this. So
the only thing that I'm slightly bummed about is that if she continues with her pattern of how the books come out, we'll be looking at like end of spring, beginning of summer before we get another one.
I know she's writing it though.
Yeah. That just seems to be how they space out. I want it now.
I know.
Anyway, okay. Any other thoughts before we go read the last part?
I think I need to go read the last part.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Okay. We're done.
We're done. All right. So my first note while reading today was she is just as unhinged as he is.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the funny part. I can't remember if this was this time or last time actually, because I didn't write this down, but it was this time, I think. But where he says something about, I'm your best friend and your dad too.
I laughed out loud at that part. My husband looked at me like I was nuts. I was like, no, it's funny. Trust me, it's funny. That was funny.
Then I know it probably didn't impact you at all, but I got very teary-eyed when he jumps in front of the bullet and says, I hope I saved him.
Yeah, I don't have tear ducts. No, I didn't get tear ducts.
I was like, oh. It was very sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm anxious for Daddy Vinny's book now.
Yes.
Very
That was
anxious.
hilarious at the end, the epilogue, where they're hiding behind the curtains, and then he's hearing his dad say all that stuff. And then he's like, yells at Rocco about fumigating it. Oh my God, he knew he was in there.
And we don't know who the girl was.
Yes.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
But it sounds like from the message from BJ, it's not going to be the Harrington girl.
No, because I realized after I told you guys in the last segment that she had said I had to wait for it, that above that, it actually said nope. And then it said to wait for her. The thing. So I don't think it's the girl. I really am excited though if they're bringing the brother back. If we're going to get the brother, I forgot that the brother was an MC. And so, you know, I have talked with BJ a little bit about, hey, have you thought about writing an MC romance? And so there's this little part of me that holds out hope that this would like jump into like an MC series, but she's a very busy writer. So
maybe because of Vinny is the fourth book, and then the stepbrother becomes book 5. That goes through the whole family basically, unless they bring in like some other family members we haven't really met yet. Yeah. But otherwise, that would conclude that one, and then that would be the next one, because her books tend to sometimes
they overlap. Because we had the O'Connells in here, we had Owen in here, and so that's her 3 main series are overlapping there. So just a little snippet here and there of them. I did get another chuckle out of there was the part where he sends the message to his dad letting him know that they're having a baby girl, and his dad sends back a thumbs up emoji, and he's like, couldn't even send a friggin' pink heart for my daughter. Yeah. Like, I laughed. I thought that was pretty funny too.
Yeah. I also liked when he's like, Matt keeps telling me he's not going to call me daddy. And he's like, we can't go there.
He's like, daily, every day.
Yeah.
But I want to tell him that his mom does, you know. Yeah.
All right. So what did you rate it?
It's a 5-star book for me.
5 stars for me too. I really
loved
enjoyed it. There was not a dull moment.
No.
And even though I don't know how BJ does it, but these books are very heavily on the spicy, smutty side, but it never feels redundant. I'm not like, again. Like some books you get that feeling where you're like, again?
Yeah, it never feels like, oh gosh, I'm reading erotica and there's no plot, because there is plot. And so it definitely doesn't feel like that ever. Yeah. So, yeah. Yay, BJ.
Yes.
So, all right.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us on our vlog venture. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Make sure to check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us.
And thanks again to BJ for the arcs, and we'll see you guys in the next video.